Every one of these World Cup photos was taken by the same photographer. Okay, Sean, so this is the first image, and I think if anyone follows the World Cup, they would have probably seen this very iconic frame. Can you tell us what's happening here?
This is after the main presentation when Argentina had won the World Cup. It's Lionel Messi. I think this is the moment he acknowledges the crowd's adoration for him. I've photographed soccer for years, and you dream of that sort of moment. You know, the chances of being right where you want to be. There's a lot of photographers there. There's a lot of things against you. There's a lot of pushing and shoving for a start. When he appeared in front of me, it's definitely the weirdest feeling, because there's a bit of you just goes, I can't believe this is happening to me. You know, when I was a kid first starting out, I remember Maradona being lifted on the shoulders and seeing that in the newspapers, on the TV, and it kind of just links my 40 years of being in the business.
I was actually thinking of the 1986 Maradona shot myself when I saw this, and those two moments that have coming together, particularly given that the players are often compared to each other as well. There's such a great tie there. How many photographers were actually shooting that day for Getty Images?
So we probably had, I'd say 16, I think. You know, that's where luck comes into it. I was lucky that Argentina won, and that was my side of the pitch along with another colleague. But, you know, I always spare a thought for the guys who are doing France dejection, because that's part of our job. You know, we have to cover both sides of the story. It's a lot easier doing the people happy than the guys dejected, that's for sure. I flew home the next day, and when I got off the plane, my phone was going crazy. And somebody said to me, oh, do you know your picture's gone kind of viral? But the great thing about it, I'm not on social media, so I didn't have a clue what was going on. For a guy that's been around 40 years, it's quite funny to be relevant to modern times, so that was quite sweet. So this picture is from the 1994 World Cup final. So they'd gone to penalties, which is pretty hard to photograph. You focus on the goalkeeper, you photograph the player.
Do you remember what gear you were shooting on for this frame?
Yeah, that'd be a 400mm, but we were shooting colour negative then, so it was pretty, and we were developing the films at the stadium.
For those at home, Sean, who don't know what you're talking about, film. Let's touch on film. I love this. One of the great things that I am so curious about as a picture editor, this year at the World Cup, I'll be watching it on TV, and within 60 seconds of someone hitting a goal, there is the image in my system in Sydney, Australia. The technology is incredible. I love talking about this picture for the iconic moment that is. It really showcases how long you've actually been doing this for. But with film, like, how does that work?
In 1994, we worked with editors. You know, we had colleagues that came along, and their job was to process the film, scan it, and connect on a phone line. So this picture probably got sent an hour after the final, because they went straight into the presentation. It was a case of, you know, probably developing in the toilets at the stadium. You know, all you needed was running water, some electricity, and a phone line. What was amazing with film, it was the anticipation. When you were photographing something, you think, oh, okay, I think I've got a picture. But you're never really sure, because that would have been manual focus as well.
How many rolls of film would you be given to shoot again?
I honestly don't think we had more than 10 rolls of film.
10 rolls of film. And would that be about 25 frames or 36 frames per film?
36 frames, so 360 frames for a whole match.
Okay. How many would you shoot now?
This is going to sound crazy. You probably shoot 360 frames within the first 2 minutes, or even before the match, because you're mucking around taking pictures of all sorts of stuff. So film was kind of magical. I think it still is. I think that's probably why youngsters have gone back to film.
What captured me about this frame is how nice the lighting is. It's almost like you've lit it yourself. He's got this beautiful soft light at the front. He's got some key light hitting the back, and the trophy is perfectly lit as well. And so that, coupled with your depth of field, it looks really sophisticated.
Yeah. This is how things have changed. Like LED lighting in stadiums has just brought a new dimension to how you can photograph sport, because years ago, old floodlights, they put them on and they had to warm up, you know, to get to the full maximum brightness. So you couldn't turn the lights off to do funky light shows. It was, you know, the TV wanted them on and warmed up. They're on the lap of honour after the presentation. So there's a lot of players around him. I remember sitting really low, so I'm sitting right down on my backside basically, just so I can get this really low angle. It's very different to Lionel Messi with this. He's celebrating with all his fans, and it's like this adulation. This kind of a quieter moment. It looks like a quieter moment for him.
You've got this very strong juxtaposition of the World Cup always being so energetic, so colourful, so powerful. And the little lights dappled in the background, you know that there are thousands of people looking at him right now.
Yeah.
But that quiet moment coupled in with your composition, I love the way that you've got the squares and the triangles in the back that just kind of all direct down towards this centre moment. It is a really quiet frame and it's so beautiful.